There it is. Yeah, hit the key. I can't help it. God makes me want to sing. Get up and sing with me. Come on. I know you're ready. Get up and sing. It's good for you. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. I can't help it. God makes me want to sing. I can't help it. God makes me want to sing. I am loving every little thing. I can see the face of God, paupers and kings. You know, we're all precious, no one less or more. We all got the same treasure in store. I am loving Sue Rubin's here today. Oh, I can't help it. God makes me want to sing. Let me hear you. Makes me feel so good. I can do most anything. I am rising to a higher place. I got the wind at my back, a smile upon my face. Get 'em going, Donna. I'm living my dream a little more each day. It keeps getting easier to say I am rising. Where you going? To a higher place. Now let me hear you sing. I can't help it. God makes me want to sing. I can't help it. God makes me want to sing. Makes me feel so good. I can do most anything. Oh, I'll do it again. You know, I can't help it. God makes me want to sing. I can't help it. God makes me want to sing. Makes me feel so good. I can do most anything. Jody Siegel's here today. I can feel so good. I can do. There she is, right there. Anything. One more time. Make me feel so good. I can do most anything. All right, Madonna, you sounding good. Now say hi to each other. Hi, Louisa.
Good morning. Welcome to Redondo Beach Center for Spiritual Living. Or as I like to refer to this place, the happiest place on earth. No, not Disneyland, Andy. This is it. A lot cheaper, too. I mean, a lot less expensive. And a lot cooler than my house. Who's considering air conditioning? Oh, my goodness. I am on your board of trustees. My name is Damian Schiller. I have the distinct honor to welcome all of you today, but most importantly, or especially those that are here for the first time. Is there anyone with us for the first time? We have a fabulous gift in the form of a green bag. Back row, like that. Well, welcome, welcome. We know you have plenty of options how to spend your Sunday morning, and we're grateful that you're here sharing this wonderful teaching with us. It's also my pleasure. We have a wonderful musical inspiration today, the lovely Jody Siegel. Come on, Jody.
Check, check there. Good morning. Now my tire's flat and I'm out of gas. My cupboard's bare and the milk's gone bad. Got nothing to shake a stick at. So I'm counting chickens before they hatch. Since I've lost my taste for sour grapes, I am living it up to a ripe old age. 'Cause dreams don't come with an expiration date. Now my baby's gone and I'm all alone. Yeah, he took the dog and everything I own. Oh, but that won't turn my heart to stone. 'Cause I know there's plenty more where that came from. Since I've lost my taste for sour grapes, I am living it up to a ripe old age. 'Cause love don't come with an expiration date. And it's a long ways from anywhere if I keep measuring from here to there. See, going the distance lasts a lifetime. So in the meantime, oh, in the meantime, I know what I need to do. I'll find my inner child and kick its little ass. And remind that kid that life goes fast. Then however long my battery lasts, I'll stay happy drinking from this half-full glass and celebrate every night away. Remember my birthday, forget my age, and turn that page, 'cause then dreams come and love comes. Happiness comes with no expiration date. My mama done told me
Good morning. Reverend Sue's topic today is the language of the soul. The language of the soul is extremely limited. It can only say yes.
That's it, always. Ernest Holmes, the founder of Science of Mind, teaches that the soul is the creative medium through which the spirit or God operates. The soul is the aspect of the trinity of all creation: spirit, soul, and body. The spirit or God is consciousness and thinks and creates ideas. The soul is the yes power that produces those ideas, no questions asked. Spirit or God creates in the realm of the infinite, and you and I also create ideas, but in our personal world. God's mind and our individual mind is the same mind. Again, the function of the soul is to obey and execute the thoughts or ideas it receives. In a few minutes, we all are going to sing "Our Thoughts Are Prayers," and we are always praying. Exactly. Our soul, the infinite intelligence that manifests whatever we desire, is always ready to please us automatically. That makes us all responsible for allowing our mind only to think, yes, life-giving ideas of truth, of health, wealth, peace, freedom. Let's be careful to never ask for anything, but rather to accept and give thanks that our desires are already accomplished here, now, because they are. But what happens when we don't see the results of our great ideas? The reason is that we have not accepted them completely, without any doubt. That's all. The soul can and does manifest immediately whatever our ideas, desires, or dreams are, if we allow it. Master Teacher Jesus demonstrated this in his multiple instantaneous healings. How could we do it? He used the full authority of his belief. His word was and is power. And so your word is your power. Please repeat after me. I only allow in my mind the most refined ideas. I only allow in my mind the most refined ideas. I allow my soul to execute my will instantaneously. And so it is.
Thank you, Paul. Please stand and sing "You Are the Light." No, she's not singing this. You are the light of love. You are the light of love. You are the light. I am the light. We are the light of love. You are the light of peace. I am the light of peace. You are the light. I am the light. We are the light of peace. You are the light of joy. I am the light of joy. You are the light. You are the light. I am the light. We are the light of joy. You are the light. I am the light. We are the light of peace. You are the light. I am the light. We are the light of peace. You are the light. I am the light. We are the light of joy. You are the light. I am the light. We are the light of peace. You are the light. I am the light. We are the light of joy. You are the light. I am the light. We are the light of peace. You are the light. I am the light. We are the light of joy. You are the light. I am the light. We are the light of peace. You are the light. I am the light. We are the light of joy. You are the light. I am the light. We are the light of peace. You are the light. I am the light. We are the light of joy. You are the light. I am the light. We are the light of peace. You are the light. I am the light. We are the light of joy. You are the light. I am the light. We are the light of peace. You are the light. I am the light. We are the light of joy. You are the light. I am the light. We are the light of joy. You are the light. I am the light. We are the light of pe light of hope. I am the light of hope. You are the light, I am the light. We are the light of hope. You are the
now we're going to have Eli come up and do announcements for us. Welcome.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. Okay, so I'm going to do the announcements in case you can't tell. So, Visioning on Monday nights is on vacation for the month of August. Dr. Moira is asking our loyal group of visioners to continue to vision for our center and for world peace wherever you are. Shared Bread is a neighborhood program which provides a wonderful full-course sit-down dinner for approximately 125 to 150 people every Wednesday night. The Redondo Beach Center for Spiritual Living provides the dinner entree the second Wednesday of each month. We cannot do it without your generous contributions. Marianne Amato is in the foyer collecting for this worthy program. Richelieu Hall is closed for use today, but the doors are open so you can see the progress. Please respect the safety cautions. They're there to keep everyone safe. There will be chairs set up in the foyer of the Richelieu Hall area after service to sit and chat. It's back to school time. At this time every year, Redondo Beach Center for Spiritual Living supports Rainbow Services as they assist mothers and their children fleeing from abusive home situations. While there are many needs that call to all of us, this need is local and all of your donations go directly to children in the form of school supplies. We collect new backpacks, notebooks, binders, and general school supplies. We accept cash donations for those who don't care to shop or don't have the time. Maureen is in the foyer to answer questions. The Noble Fellowship Group, or the Men's Spirit Group, will meet on Monday, August 13th at 7 p.m. in the teen room. Wednesday evening services continue August 15th. Reverend Kathy Sinfield will be the speaker and Adrienne Adelsberger will do the meditation. Join us at 7:30 p.m. for an inspirational evening. The Labyrinth Walk is also on vacation for August. It will resume in September. Some new is coming. Damien and Doris are going to tell us more. Wherever they are.
Good morning.
Morning.
We are kicking off a family service group and resources for you. I'm going to introduce myself a little bit. Doris is going to introduce herself a little bit. We have a table out in the foyer, so please come up and introduce ourselves. Here's Doris.
Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
Through life challenges, seminars, and a lot of reading, working with different people in all walks of my life, I am inspired to help others. I attended my life coach license, and I'm really proud to be here today and share this information with Damien. Please join us at our table outside. We have little chocolates, and also I made that little signs like I am joyful, cheerless, happy. Hold it to your heart and own it. Take what you need today, and I look forward to see you after the service.
Thanks. So we're also in the program on page 6. It has our information of who we are and what we do. I have experience with addiction recovery. I've been clean and sober next month 31 years. I have a drug and alcohol counseling certification from LMU, and so I'm very passionate, along with Doris, of trying to help people that either need a pickup, if there's substance abuse, if there's family members that are concerned with somebody. We're here to be a resource for you. Thanks.
Lake Arrowhead applications are out now. It will be May 24th to 27th, 2019. If you start the payment plan now, you can pay it over 9 months. Applications are available at the front desk. I'll be there, so you better come. We always have practitioners on duty. Look for them in the rear of the sanctuary today instead of the foyer. We also offer prayer circle after both services. Please come to the grand piano after service to join the circle. Please remain seated for the meditation song.
Thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers, seek a higher consciousness of state of peacefulness, and know that God is always there, and every thought becomes our prayer. Our thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers. Take charge of what you're saying. Seek a higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God is always there. And every thought becomes our prayer.
Bonjour. Okay, let's do the thing that does the best for us and for the world, and that is our conscious contact with the divine. So I invite you to touch that sacred space within yourself and to know the truth for you, for all, in the I am that I am. I give thanks for this moment, for this is the moment, something new, something expansive, something that touches myself and the world with kindness, with compassion, and with love is emerging. I know that whatever I think, say, feel, do, is exactly what I am experiencing in my life. That is the law of universal creativity, always bringing to my doorstep that which I have first sent out. So I'm here from within to send out kindness, generosity of spirit, to be open and receptive to that deeper calling within me, the language of spirit, of heart, of soul, of the very foundation of being. Perfect God, perfect self, perfect life, perfect truth, perfect self. And so I'm open and receptive to everything that I see as my creative opportunity to glean wisdom and a deeper understanding of myself and the world around me. I let love point the way, knowing the law makes the way possible, that there be life and life ever more peacefully, abundantly, and joyfully revealed by means of me individually, by means of this collective spiritual community, which truly is a blessing to each one and to the world. I give thanks, I accept, and in gratitude, let us all declare together, and so it is.
Our thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers. Charge of what you're saying. Seek a higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God is always there. And every thought becomes our prayer.
So it's a great pleasure for me to introduce someone who actually, I think, needs no introduction here at Redondo Beach, Dr. Sue Rubin. She began her journey in ministry in the 1970s, and to establish her first church, she moved to Canada, Edmonton in 1985. And there she not only was the pastor and senior minister, but she taught many ministers who are in the field today throughout the United States and Canada. And so she not only leaves a trail behind her, she leaves and nurtures and mentors many, many people to this day. She was the lead minister, the senior minister at Westlake Village, starting in 1996, and she got there by way of Hawaii somehow. And then I know, that sounds fun, doesn't it? And then when she rewired in 2009 and left Westlake Village, she started continued to speak and teach at other centers and churches throughout the United States and Canada. And it's always a joy to have Sue. And there's one last thing I want you guys to all hear, because she has a website and a Facebook page, and we are all invited. In fact, she would like us to go to her website, which is truthtidbits.com. So let's give a warm welcome to Dr. Sue Rubin.
Thank you, Reverend Lisa. Thank you. I've just got to do this. I just have to. So good morning, everybody. How are you doing? Oh my God, this is the way to do it. So a funny thing happened to me, however. We'll do that another moment. Sometimes you just have to give in to those spontaneous urges, do you? Yeah, exactly. We become very structured and very organized and very strategic and very much in the planning stages. And God knows there's enough to strategize and plan and scheme for these days. So the language of the soul sounds pretty lofty when you read Dr. Holmes or you hear it spoken from Dr. Holmes. And for me, it's just like, that's that little midsection that's between what I am recognizing about the nature of God and what shows up. That's what's happening as I'm pulling from that midsection. My subconscious mind, and also the richest part is our subjective, which is a place where we truly merge with the divine. I merge with the divine at the center of my being. Let's say that. I merge with the divine at the center of my being. Everybody, everything, ultimately traces its origin back to source. So I want to carry along an idea that I started with in this morning's meditation that addresses the idea of soul. What goes on in that place that I'm not and you're not always awakened to or aware of. It's the things that are our belief systems, and sometimes I have to admit, I don't know what I believe, because there's enough in the outside world to cause one to ponder, and yet always, while the pondering is going on and the pot is being stirred, at the center of it all is that perfect place of peace, of harmony, of wisdom, and of love. And so I brought forth the idea, which I continue to develop here this morning, that, we have a certain way of defining what it means for us to be sacred. I would jump to the conclusion to presume that being here together, not only this morning, but in all the classes and activities you partake of, there is a sense of the sacred. It's as if this is the oasis. And we finally have sought and found something to quench our thirst, while right outside the doors, right in the parking lot, and then heading back to our lives, sometimes that sacred sense of being does not perpetuate itself. Have you noticed? Oh, I thought maybe your relatives and friends, but I thought you were more enlightened, for God's sake. So the sacred, and the invitation always is to broaden our field of awareness of where do I find myself most immersed in the sacred within myself when I'm doing whatever it is I'm doing. For some, it is in solitude and meditation. in sacred readings, in journaling, in reading or listening to the inspiration of the teachers of all ages. For others, it's very easy to become involved in the sacred out in nature. Anybody? Yep, nature is a fabulous place, and yet we carry the capacity to be in nature anytime, whether we're sitting in the bathroom. My favorite place to pray, by the way, if I'm in a crowd and it's getting a little wild and woolly, it's like, excuse me, to the bathroom I go. I tell you, there's something about taking the one seat. You know, that's a Buddhist expression. Taking the one seat is when you go within the very depth of your own being and know that God is, I am. You remember that. That's my favorite metaphor and picture of the symbol of the cross. This is the divine, God is, and this is the way that I express it, I am. So do not be ashamed or afraid to revert to former traditions if you make the sign of the cross, because it's simply saying God is, I am. Interesting, isn't it, how everything connects to everything else? It's the way it's got to be. So anyway, there you are, there I am in the sacredness of the sanctuary and convening with fellow soulful spiritual beings on their path, and life is beautiful. If only we could all just park here and remember, because that's what we're doing for each other. We're reminding ourselves that the language of the soul is inclusive. It is that oneness, that sense of what I am feeling now, I may feel differently in my own way of tone and texture and emotion, but it all traces itself back. It's like everything that starts out seemingly far apart. We have different ages, we have different stages, we have different forms and shapes, we have different colors, we have everything that marks in the objective world that which is different, that which has its own mark of individuality. And yet when you bring that all into the very core of the basics of life, the very fundamental essence of who we are, that is the divine, that somehow we've all been spun out of the web of the infinite. All, as someone once described, all pearls placed on that string that forms a necklace. Isn't that a beautiful way of thinking of it? You know, just everything has its way to everything else if we but retain our awareness of that sacred self that we are. So, as we all know, it's very easy to love the lovable, isn't it? And to approve of the things that match your own belief systems, your own perception of life. Anybody paying any attention to my sparkling shoes? Well, get over it. Keep focused on the teaching. Oh, that's the way we are. One moment it's all high, mighty, lofty, noble, supreme. And the next minute it's like, why is she wearing that colored nail polish with what she's wearing? Like boom, boom. We fluctuate, shall we say, from the sacred to the profane, which is often used as an alternative way of thinking and feeling. So there we are, enjoying the soul, the language of the soul. How can I help you? Oh my goodness, I'm so saddened to hear that. However, I know the truth that everything works together for good. There is a right action and a right resolution to whatever difficulty you're presently having. Look at that sunset. That is so beautiful. Take a moment. Stop hurrying. Stop scurrying. I remember when I was in Hawaii, in Honolulu, doing interim ministry when I left Canada, and sunsets and dawnings and rainbows all over the place. And I would be in my car, and I would spot a double rainbow, nothing unusual on the island. And I would be alone in my car, and it's like, I've got to share this with someone. And I was so happy if we would come to an intersection or a stop sign or a light, and I'd be able to honk my horn, Person next to me would look like, what do you want? And I go, oh, and they'd go, oh, thank you. But somehow that sharing, it's a commonality to be able to sense the beauty and to feel the excitement. And I know that there is a way of sustaining that more than what I presently do and more than what you presently do. Because here's the thing. We do our prayer work and we consciously contact and maintain contact with the Spirit. And we formulate all of the places and the people who most encourage us in the development of our spiritual life. Then, back at the ranch, there's seemingly, Reverend Martha reminded us, of course, there's only one mind. And it does function in different ways to the point where sometimes it seems as though there's a mind of its own. We've used that expression. My emotions seem to have a mind of their own. My kids, when they were growing up, can't tell them anything. They have a mind of their own. As if there's your mind, my mind, and then somewhere the big mind. And from within this more secular approach to life, we are primarily in our daily lives very much in body consciousness, in our ego, personality, in our humanness, where there are difficulties and there are challenges and there is disruption and there is a disgruntled feeling of not being happy the way life is turning out. We have people, places, and things that just as easily contribute to remembering we're in a sacred space always, should we choose to consciously go there. But this other secular approach to everyday living requires for most that you get up in the morning and you go through your ritual and you get out in the world. You're either taking care of family at home or you're in the business world and you're dealing with other people who have other perceptions. Have you noticed people do have other perceptions, even different opinions? So it reminds me of the Picasso had a showing at a gallery, and a gentleman walked up to him and said, Picasso, why do you paint things that aren't the way they really are? You know, let me give you an example, because Picasso was saying, well, what do you mean, paint as they really are? And so the fellow takes a picture of his wife out of his pocket. And he said, this is what I'm talking about. This is the way she is. Look, here it is. And Picasso looked at it and he said, she's rather small and flat, isn't she? So you have to have that bigger lens in order to see beyond what you're looking at, because really what you're looking at, you're not seeing. You're seeing it through yourself, through where you've been, what you remember, how you were conditioned, what you experienced, and that's just you. Think of the whole composite of what Holmes refers to as race mind, the prevailing principles and attitudes and experiences that have accumulated in that universal unconscious. And a lot of that does represent the secular. How to get it before someone else takes it away, and how to keep it before someone else comes and does it better, how to be competitive rather than cooperative. And so the journey that we continue on is one of seeing the people, the places, and the things that are not as easily brought to a sacred place within our own awareness. And I very much draw attention, which is what we did in the meditation this morning, to those people, those situations, those conditions where you feel justified, where I feel justified, to exclude those people, that thing, that experience from my inner circle of sacredness. And those people, those conditions, financially, relationally, personally, emotionally, politically, governmentally, Congress, Democratic, Republican, Independent, Progressive, Socialist, all parties, everything that irks and irritates and frustrates and angers is, as we know, part of the problem. If we're focusing our attention on that secular aspect of life with the TV and the tweets and all of the technology, and still our newspapers too, everything about that world, if it captures more of our attention than the divine captures within us, the passion to be the person that I am individually expressing as God, to be that replica, to be that role model for what would the divine do and be and say here? Would it be pushing people away, or would it be drawing them close in this inner circle we all share? Because like it or not, judge it, blame it, condemn it, or criticize it, we all originate from the same Genesis, the same beginning, created in the spiritual image and likeness of the divine. Holmes has a part in his textbook where he says, you must love everybody. If you haven't up until now, begin right here and right now, which doesn't mean I have to take you to lunch or have you become a bedfellow with me or any other form of close, congenial, familial intimacy, but I must always see beyond the smoke screen that you're putting up before me. And there's the one that needs to be brought into the altar of my higher consciousness, where I know there is that within each one that is altered by my placing them on the altar of divinity. Think of it. I mean, just by lifting, like walking up a staircase, each step you take is working every muscle in your body, while at the same time achieving a goal of getting to the landing of the end of that staircase. It's the same thing with spirituality. If you and I are not meditating every morning, first thing in the morning before awareness is off, putting on the news and seeing what's the latest tweet, what's going on, who's doing what to whom, how's the inquiry going, how's Mueller doing, is he still around? All of it. I mean, if we are not dealing with life as it exists now in its current look, feel, texture, tone, and appearance, the spiritual journey then isn't worth a hoot. Because the spiritual journey and the path that we continue to take to be the people we have been brought forth to be, that journey does not mean withdraw from life, close your eyes to the way it humanly is appearing, put your head in the sand like the ostrich. No. It's designed for the strict purpose, single-minded purpose, to be more artful and skillful and kind and generous and compassionate in being able to see through the appearance, through the smoke screen, through the disguise, that there is God in there. And if I can see that within me and extend that golden thread to the very core of someone else, they actually have more of an opportunity to rise to that image that I have placed upon them as being better than even they think they are. So, if that's the cause, first cause, God is, amidst all the confusion, the disarray, the wondering and the pondering, and all of what's going on in our world, we are here. We somewhere within the depth of our soul, that creative medium, decided to be here in this time, in this place, in this era of relativity, of upheaval, of chaos, of disorder, of fires still raging. The fires that are still raging are the fires that are still raging within our souls that have not yet been quenched with the cool, calming water of spirit. I just believe that the answer is within, and that everything that we do without has to first start with what I'm knowing within. Because that mind, that creative medium, that is the midpoint, as well as being the emotions and the feelings and the belief systems, that creative medium is a very literal mechanism. It's automatic, it's mathematical. It's going to take what you give it, what I give it, and crank it right back at us. And it's formed out of our prevalent thoughts. So if I seem to have a tendency toward complaining, whining, looking for what's wrong, looking at the half-empty glass rather than the half-full, if I tend to find a reason to criticize, to blame, to judge, if I am easily evoking a reaction from someone else or reacting to something they've said or done, then I've got cleanup work to do. As I've shared often, waking up is a wonderful thing, but that's only the start. That's only the first step on the journey to staying awake, to being more mindful, to bringing all of that baggage into awareness, because in awareness, I at least have the ability and the power, should I choose to use it, to alter things, to lift my own limited negative thinking to that altar, knowing I am altered. The moment I can see in the midst of anything that is seemingly out of order, if I can say, God is, I am, I bring that consciousness to what I do, everything changes. You change the effect by changing the cause. You change the cause, you change the effect. There was a holy man who had been dedicating a lot of his life to the spiritual journey and to meditating. And yet he was feeling a little bit disappointed in himself. He thought he would be far along the way more than what he was. And so he decided to seek counsel with his guru. And he went to him and he said, Master, would I be able to go higher up to your village, top of the mountain peak, in that hut that you have there, so that I can meditate consistently over the next period of time? I'm just feeling my practice needs to be amplified and deepened. And the master knew that he was a dedicated servant of God and said, yes, of course. And so the man heads out on his journey, and as he's getting about midway up the mountain, he sees a very old but a very wise-looking man coming down the mountain with a bundle. And he says to him, is it okay to be up there? How did you find that you achieved the best results in your spiritual work? And the man carrying the bundle puts the bundle down. And the student says, so you're saying that life is easier and enlightenment is more achieved when one drops the excess, that bag, that bundle that has the fear and the alienation and the divisiveness, all of that. And the wise man just nods. And then the student says, and so what do you do then? And the wise man just smiled, just made that gesture, picked up his bundle, and continued the journey. So what's the point? Just what I said before. The purpose of the spiritual path is not to drop everything and play ostrich to the world around us, but it's to continue to be so deeply entrenched, immersed, surrounded in the awareness that God is, I am, one power, one life, one source, one creative medium, one effect, that then you pick up that bundle, the very distasteful things that you don't want, or the people you don't want in your life, and you carry it, but with a sense of being in harmony with the greater life. So I know that you know that we are all in this together. You know, the statement is, if all the people in all the places that are declaring the truth of being, that there is a supreme almighty, however you refer to it, as the Christ consciousness, as Emmanuel, as Muhammad, as Allah, as Buddha, Atman, whatever it is, when we are doing this work, Let us step up more boldly, more audaciously, and speak the word of and the language of the soul, which is, how can I help? How can I serve? How can I make this day better for where I am, with whom I'm with? And that's the way it all changes, for which I give thanks, and so it is. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sue. It is always wonderful to have you back, and thank you for being here today. And Dr. Sue was at Arrowhead last year, too, and I'm surprised she didn't bring that up. Yes, those of you who were here got to see her entertain us in so many ways. Recently, I have had a really nice problem to have. I have more than one opportunity before me, and I didn't know which way to go. I was not worried because there was nothing wrong, but I did feel an urge to come up with an answer or a choice. I really enjoy the lessons on Sunday morning. I often read the books that Dr. Moira mentions on Sundays. I've had a few classes, and mostly I remember hearing the message that I already had all I needed to know the best thing to do. I kept being grateful that I have choices in my life and that all are worth doing. I have prayed and meditated, and I've just sat quietly thinking and not thinking. I like looking at the water, so I just sit and look as I think and not think. And then one day I was walking somewhere, thinking and not thinking, and then boom, I just knew what I was going to do. That inner knowing showed itself clearly. I am grateful for the grace that I feel, and I believe my time at this center has taught me how to feel easy with myself and all there is. I am grateful. I invite the ushers to come forth, and I invite all of us to take that envelope that you may have and place it between your hands, and let us all say together, divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, to bless, and to prosper all those who give and all those who receive. I rejoice in the sharing of my good, and I release my gift with love, and so it is.
Let's get funky. This world keeps trying to bring me down, but I ain't listening to those crazy sounds. Got my own frequency, got my own moves. Ain't nobody gonna mess with my groove. Wild hearts can't be broken. A wild heart, it beats inside of me. Wild hearts, oh, need to be free. See, I wasn't made in no assembly line. I might have an attitude, but at least it's mine. But I'll keep trying to reach you. I'll even meet you halfway. But push me too far, and I don't wanna play. See, wild hearts can't be broken. A wild heart, inside of me, wild hearts, oh, need to be free. Free to be whoever I wanna be. Whatever is calling me, whatever is calling me. Got nothing to lose, but everything to gain. A spirit like mine can't be tamed. Wild hearts can't be broken. A wild heart, it beats inside of me. Wild hearts keep on growing. A wild heart, it beats inside of me. Wild hearts, oh, need to be free. Need to be free. You need to be free. Da, 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 da. Need to be free. Need to be free. Da, 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 da. Thank you.
First of all, I want to thank you for providing the music. Andy, Oliver, Chris, Jody, thank you so much. You move, I tell you. No, God darn, it's a pleasure to see when you're pouring your whole self in. The other thing I want to mention, you are in for a fabulous treat next Sunday with Reverend Kusala. I can't say enough. Had him many times at Westlake. In fact, he's at the See Me Center today. And he's a fabulous representation of Zen Buddhism with a twist. He even plays the harmonica, loves jazz on harmonica. So come next Sunday and do yourself a favor. So let's do a new beginning treatment as we go forth. And so here I am, honest and true, real and whole, holy in the divine, using that as my groundwork, my foundation, my base of all other activity, the knowledge, the realization, the conscious unity and recognition that God is, I am. Wherever I go, I carry the potential for creativity, for healing, for transformation, for an expanded awareness that there is always the right answer, the right word, the right gesture, the right tone, the right expression of God, always poised and available at my beck and call, truly. And so I commit myself from this moment forth to remaining open-minded and mindful in each and every moment throughout the course of my day. What is it that is most prominently expressing itself this day? Is it the saint? Is it the scholar, the teacher, the spiritual pioneer and warrior? Is it that which is sacred? Or have I drifted off into a lesser way of thinking, of relating, of being, less than what I truly am created and designed to be? So I join with all others in this spiritual community and out in the world that I navigate in every day, trusting and knowing that the door is always open, and through it I walk as a beneficent presence to all I meet on my journey. I am guided, I am directed, I'm protected, I am safeguarded, and I see a world that works more effectively, artfully, skillfully, and soulfully, that blesses one and all. I see all fires quenched. I see all that runs rampant in the world of objectivity, subject now to that which I am proclaiming as there is one life, that life is God, that life is whole, complete, and perfect, that life is my life, and the life of one and all. And as I see it, according to perfect law, so it is. And together, that's exactly what we declare, and so it is.